Hey old soul, just over a year ago I sold everything I owned and moved to the land of Bali with my ex-husband and 3 kids. Now I live my dream life, traveling first class around the world, teaching others how to do the same. If you are ready for a life that is so abundant and free, where money flows like air so effortlessly that you don't even care because you are simply focusing on you and allowing everything to be true, then you are exactly where you need to be. Let me teach you how to be wildly abundant and insanely free. We don't need a chance to wake up. We don't need a chance to wake up. What's the story? Morning glory. Well, in the body. What a beautiful day it is. I'm feeling a little bit more exhausted than normal because I'm about to get my period. So I definitely notice when my cycle is shifting and changing, and this has been a pretty wild few weeks with these huge transits. The physical body is going through massive shifts trying to catch up. So random hair just there. So I want to talk to you guys really quickly about the biggest energy leaks that I feel a lot of my clients, a lot of people in this space have. And I'm going to share it from a higher level of consciousness. So it may be uncomfortable to hear this, or it may be just like, oh my gosh, I know I need to change, I need to shift. And we were going really deep with this just before on the Serenity Mastermind call. And just really quickly, so you can understand, when you incarnated, God, angels, source, universe, gave you this beautiful set of gifts, this beautiful set of incredible gifts that you and no one else, you share with the world. And even though we label these gifts like speaking or being kind or being nurturing, if your gift is, hey Adele, how are you, beautiful soul? If your gift is speaking, the way someone else is going to speak is different to you. So they have their own blueprint of these gifts. So while we as humans label things as gifts, like a lot of people do this in business, they go, oh, well, that person has the same business as me, I couldn't possibly compete. And we're constantly conditioned that it's competing instead of realizing our true power, which is that your gift and your gift and your gift and your gift and your gift are not the same as somebody else's gift that has the same gift, because you were born at a very unique point in time, in a very unique location, with a very unique blueprint. The way that your hair color is, the way that your eyes look, the way that your life experiences all went so that you could deliver this gift to the world. And your inability to see your gifts is one of the biggest hindrances there is, because you need to know your gifts. And we went through this quite deeply in the Serenity Mastermind before, but just wrapping it up really quickly in a nutshell, looking at the things you were condemned for as a child usually hold a lot of weight to what your gifts are. And really going deep with figuring out, like for me, I was condemned for speaking. I was condemned for being lazy. And now I'm like, my whole life is as effortless and as easy as possible. And I use my voice so that I change the world. I make a lot of money through this voice, that I just get my energy so clean that I'm able to channel and share what really needs to come through. But the energy leaks that I'm referring to are every day, you really just need to share your gifts with the world. That's it. Share your gifts. Grow so you can hold the space for these gifts on a greater level. And when you're sharing your gifts, things just flow really beautifully, because all you have to do every day is share your gifts. It really is that simple. But we make it so confusing. We make it so dramatic and so overcomplicated. And it is just as simple as, what are your gifts? Share them with the world. And where we have massive energy leaks is because we've got a program that might try to do everyone else's gifts. So if you run a business and your gift, for me, for instance, I speak, I turn up, I love creativity. Apart from that, I outsource everything else because I'm not going to be a hoard and steal everyone else's gifts. Why would I steal my team's gifts by going, well, I'm going to organize everything and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that? That's an energy leak, because that comes from conditioning, not your soul's highest truth, not your soul's highest power. Your soul's highest truth and your soul's highest power really come from knowing what your gifts are, knowing that your only job is to share your gifts with the world, and growing and expanding and awakening. You're not even growing and expanding. Through the awakening process, you will naturally grow and you will naturally expand. But being in that beautiful state where when you effortlessly grow, when you effortlessly awaken, the pieces just fall off you and you naturally grow. It's a bit like a rose. It's a bit like a plant. You know, it starts to grow and bloom and blossom to its fullest, most beautiful form. And it's really sitting with, where are your gifts being hidden? Where are your gifts not being shared with the world? Because that's hoarding and you don't want to be in that lack consciousness. And how can you truly and utterly just share your gifts with the world and not try to steal everyone else's gifts? You were not put on this earth to do everyone else's gifts and to do a million things. You were only put here to share your gifts. So where are you not sharing them? Where are you not generously giving and receiving the beautiful overflow of gifts? And when you are in your gift, your presence and your true magnetism, you start to attract people that are fully in their gifts, and you remove fake people from your life because, and I don't really, so much like the word fake, but it's more just identifying more with the persona than the soul, and people that are trying to do everything instead of people that are this true potent channel and they're magnetic because they're just doing their gifts. They're just sharing their gifts because they know what they were put on this earth to do. And that's what you were put on this earth to do, to give and receive your gifts. So stop trying to do things that don't feel aligned for you, because they're not your gifts. They're someone else's gifts. And you can let someone else that has those gifts do them effortlessly and light them up. But for you to be as magnetic and as potent and as powerful and as connected to source and on path and in truth as you possibly can, you need to go deep with what your gifts are. And if you are sharing these with the world every day, or if you are shying away from them because you haven't gone deep enough to figure out what your gifts are and look at the true value of who you are. So I truly and utterly hope that this has helped. If you are still experiencing blockages in your energy field, in your body, then I invite you to come and do a Kundalini activation. These are very, very, very potent sessions that are not Kundalini yoga and they are not Kundalini breath work. I channel a frequency and you just have to surrender. But please sit with your body, because it is big change and it's not for everyone. I always say people really only start working with me when they've done a few years of inner work, because the work that I do is big changes. And when we're doing this work, it is the bomb goes off and then you have to be stable to go to the next chapter. The bomb goes off and you have to be stable to go to the next chapter. It's like cleaning a house. To get to the new level of the video game, you have to look at it like moving house. You pull out all the cupboards, you have to fill up all the boxes and throw out all the things that don't serve you, and then take the boxes of what does serve you to the next level of life, to the next level of the video game. And if you don't have emotional mastery, emotional intelligence, or you don't have that bit of inner work foundation to get to the next level and realize that it's all happening for you, not to you, then although my shifts are very potent and I do hold the space for you to move, you find it a bit harder. That's why I would never expect someone that's literally just woken up to like jump into what I do, because it's massive quantum leaps. It's massive changes, the work that I guide people through. And it's not for the faint-hearted. You have to get good at change. You have to get good at you changing and life not being the same every day. You have to get good at saying no to the things that you once said yes to. You have to be really, 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 really good at being like this water source that just flows and is effortless and doesn't get stuck and sticky on things. And so, a lot of people that are going through breakups, that are obsessed with still seeing them or wanting to be around them, they struggle to work with me because they're not at a level of emotional mastery to go, that's not for me, goodbye. This is not for me, goodbye. I don't agree with that anymore, goodbye. You have to get good at having this potent foundation of emotional mastery. So if you are sort of at the early stages, the Kundalini activation sessions will really help get you to a level where you can start to have this frequency where you are just like, no, that's not for me, goodbye. It's not this this immature childlike energy, which is, oh, I don't want to eat ice cream anymore, and then you go and eat the ice cream. You're out of integrity with what you're saying. And when you're saying one thing and you're doing another thing, you haven't mastered emotionally the version of yourself that needs to start quantum leaping and go through these big shifts and these big changes. And for me, my most important thing is that my clients get results. And so if I let people to come and work with me when they're not doing the inner work, when they're not at this phase where they actually embody and say one thing and do the same thing, then it's harder for them to quantum leap because they're not being in integrity with themselves. And it's hard to quantum leap when you don't have this foundation of honesty, when you don't have this foundation of authenticity. And so asking yourself where you're at right now on your journey, and if you do need to make that shift, because my clients are phenomenal. When they say that they're going to work with me, it doesn't matter what their bank account looks like, it doesn't matter what's going on in their life. They have this authenticity where it's just done. And because they have this authenticity, they have the big shifts, they have the big breakthroughs, they have the huge quantum leaps because they are in integrity with themselves. And that's why I don't like to work with, and I'm always pushing people away when people are not in integrity with themselves. And you know where you are in your life. Are you saying that you need to stop drinking alcohol, but you keep drinking it? Are you saying that you need to stop having sex with this person, but you're still sleeping with them? Are you saying that you're going to quit sugar, but you keep eating it? If you're at that phase, you're definitely not ready to take this next step and go to the quantum leap phase where you're constantly moving and you're constantly shifting and you're constantly changing. Now, it's not about shaming yourself or guilting yourself if you are not at that level. I think this is so important because I was at that level of life for a long time. I was at that level where I was like, I don't want to drink alcohol, and I kept drinking it. I was at that level where I was like, I want to cut out this, but I couldn't do it. And so it is so important that you start to calibrate and start to go, well, how badly do I want this? Because if I truly want this badly, I'm going to do what I say. When I say I'm going to quit the alcohol, it doesn't matter how intense it is for me, I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to do it because I'm not available for that anymore. If I say I'm going to break up with this person, I'm going to break up with this person. I'm not going to talk to them again because I am at that level. This is a new version of self, and you have to be at this level if you desire to go deeper, if you desire to get to the quantum leap stage. And that's why for my bigger programs or for my Bali retreats, I always interview people because I want to know where they're at. If you are at this level where you keep getting into loops of shame and guilt and suffering, it becomes very, very, very hard to actually quantum leap. You'll go through a quantum leap and then you'll fall back down. You won't be able to hold it because you are not being honest with yourself. You're not going through this cycle. And this is what I take my clients through, which is really, we activate it on an energetic level. And then once we've activated it, we have to integrate. So I activate these versions of yourself that you haven't seen. And then I show you how to integrate these parts of the human body so that you can get to that timeline quicker. But if you're at this place in your life where you are constantly out of integrity with yourself, you're saying you're going to do something and you can't follow through, you're not ready for these big quantum leaps. And I'm saying this with love because I wish someone had said this to me when I was at that level. I wish someone had said to me, Eva, you need to sort this shit out before you're even ready to go deeper. Because what I was doing was constantly jumping into programs and I was like, why am I not having the results? You're not having the results because you're out of integrity with yourself, because you don't believe that when you say something that you do it and you follow through. So when you sign up to a coaching program, you don't believe that you're actually going to win because you're constantly lying to yourself. And it is really going deep with, am I saying what I'm doing? Because if we don't have this level of honesty and radical belief in ourselves, we are constantly lying and we're constantly separating our psyche. And this is what the conditioning is. This is what the programming is. It's don't go too far. Don't wake up. It's your soul can see more, but your body's not ready for it. And so if you are at this phase, but you know that you're an old soul, you know that you're put on this earth for a life beyond your wildest dreams, and you're stuck, but you know you're so close, please do the Kundalini activations. This really helped me because I was able to raise my consciousness so high that I got to a frequency without needing to go to therapy, without needing to constantly talk about it, where I could get my frequency so high that I was like, I don't feel like drinking alcohol anymore. I don't feel like lying anymore. In fact, I can't even lie because my frequency is so high. And so this is a really, really beautiful way where you can hold yourself to a higher frequency. So if you do feel the call, I will pop the link below. But if you are somebody that does what they say, that stays in alignment no matter how hard it is to your mind, body, and soul, that is always in truth and in integrity with who you are. That when you say you're going to make the $1 million, you just know it's already done and you're going to make the $1 million, but maybe you just need a bit of help quantum leaping because you are on the hustle train and you need to slow down. Then I invite you just to DM me, I'm ready. Just DM me, I'm ready. I've got a few things that I'm offering at the moment, and I'm just going to tune into your field and see which one is going to be the most aligned for you, and really actually just seeing if you're ready. Because for me, I turn people away every day. I have so many people that are always like, Ever, I want to work with you. And I'm just like, no, you're not ready. Go and do this and come back. And if you don't come back, that's not my problem. But I know what my medicine is. And I know that if you give the wrong medicine to the wrong people at the wrong time, it's going to cause more disservice and more harm than good. And I'm not here to make your life harder. I'm here to make your life easier. But I really want you to get to a level where when you say you're going to do something, you do it. When you say that you're going to make the $1 million, when you say that you're going to have XYZ in your life, you know that it's done. Because when it comes down to the tiniest little things, like you say you're going to quit sugar, you just do it. When you say you're going to stop drinking alcohol, you just do it. There's no falling back and forth. It's just done. It's absolutely done. And if you need help getting there, the Kundalini activations are so powerful. But if you are beyond that level and you feel the call, send me a DM. I love you. I see you so much. You were put on this earth for a life beyond your wildest dreams. You were put on this earth to share your gifts with the world. You are not here by accident. This is not a coincidence that you're hearing this message right now. This is for your soul. This is for the highest good of all involved. The world needs you, and it needs you to step up, and it needs you to do the uncomfortable things, and it needs you to awaken from the program, and it needs you to actually say what you're doing. It needs you to actually get your body to go, okay, parent yourself and go, we're not going to do this anymore. We're not going to speak to these toxic people anymore. We're going to do what we say because we are the soul having a human experience. We are not the inner child. We are not the programming, and we are not the conditioning. I love you. I see you. Have the most beautiful, magical, phenomenal day. It's all about to come your way. Open your arms and get ready because it's about to get heavy. I just said it. Big love. Mwah.